Hello everyone, it's time for another Facebook Live on Wednesday night. Guess what today is? The new holiday catalog starts today. So exciting. Now I can even show you inside pages of it. So there's the front. The set I'm going to use tonight is called Harvest Hellos. So that's this set, and it has a punch, not this one, just this top part. And it has a punch that goes with it so you can make pumpkins or apples. Tonight we're going to make an apple. Tomorrow night, if you're signed up for my class, we're going to use the pumpkin. But this is what the stamp set looks like. And the punch. Isn't that fun? Super easy. Punching is always easy. A couple other things I want to show you before we get started on our card. Paper pumpkin. There's several of us that get together for Paper Pumpkin, and we get together the first Tuesday. Hey, Lanita. We get together the first Tuesday of every month at Yogurt Mountain, and we put together our kits. So every month, if you're not familiar with Paper Pumpkin, you get a kit in the mail. It comes in this cute box, and it comes with instructions, if I can get them out. So you have color pictures and then instructions what to do. There's also a video that you can watch online. A stamp set that is exclusive to that month's Paper Pumpkin. Whatever embellishments you need, all of your pieces. So I was using these last night and making some of the things last night. So this one made these cute little gift bags. Super cute. I love the colors on these. But for this month, you could also get an add-on kit that let you make cards. So using the same supplies I made, and these were just pictured on the back of the instructions, I made these two cute little cards. So if you're not into the gift packaging, then you could add this. You could buy this kit. I think it had like 24 of these little cards, and it was $10. And they come with envelopes too. So very cute. You have to sign up by the 10th of the month to get that month's Paper Pumpkin. So for September, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be in a cool purple box, my favorite color. And it's going to be, I think, if I remember right, they said 20 treat boxes. And they're going to be food safe. So you can use them to give treats to your coworkers, to your friends, whatever. But you have to sign up by September 10th if you're interested in that. So I'll post the link to this on Facebook and in the comments on YouTube, so you can sign up for that if you're interested. All right, let's get stamping. All right, so this is, like I said, the Harvest Hello, and then I also used the buffalo check on the background. But to get started, I'm going to stamp the things we're going to color. So I've got, this is thick Whisper White, just a scrap of that. And I'm going to, whenever you're using blends, we're going to use blends to color this apple. And whenever you use blends, you want to be sure you use Memento black ink. So I'm going to stamp my apple in the Memento. And I'm doing this first just so I can give it a few minutes to set up and dry before. And then I have to kind of look at this. So we may end up having to cut our cardstock down. We'll see. Whoops. Let's try that again. There we go. So a little stem. And then two little leaves. All right, and we will color those all in a little bit. Put my Memento away for just a minute. Set that aside. All right, and I thought I would show you how I set up my, trying to get that to glare quite on there so bad. How I set up my, oh, it's that one above, not this one. Stamparatus for this. So I don't know if you can see this, I made a little template. So I've got some cardstock there just that I taped onto one of these grid sheets, because if you put your stamp all the way up to the edge, it's harder to get that edge stamped. So I just made this little template. I just took a couple pieces of cardstock, taped them on there. And I've got a piece of real red. This is 3 3/4 by 5, and so I'll just put it right there. Now I can't put a magnet over it because it's a full coverage stamp. So I've got my buffalo check, and this is before we had cling, so I didn't put the label on it so that it'll stick better. And then all I do, I'm going to turn this around so that little washi tape doesn't get in my way. All I do is I just lay it down on top. And because you've got this grid paper, you can kind of make sure it looks like it's straight. And then you just pick it up. Now the nice thing about using the Stamparatus with your background stamps like this is that if it doesn't stamp well enough the first time, then you can stamp it again. So let me pull this down a little bit. So I'm going to take my memento and I'm just going to ink up this background stamp. And I'm kind of twisting it, that just makes the ink get on there a little easier. Ink it up real good. All right. And then I just pull it down, scoot this up a little bit, and just press it. Imagine that, a little backing. Those things get everywhere. And just press it down real good. And you can see where I missed it right there. So all you do is put it back down, press it again. These background ones take a little bit of elbow grease to get it. Did I get it? Not bad. All right, I'm using the heel of my hand. Hopefully I'm not shaking the camera too much for you. All right, let's see how that gets. Oh, it looks pretty good. There's still a little bit right there, but I think it's okay. Some of it's going to be covered up, and it's supposed to be kind of, you know, I don't know, vintage chic or whatever. I mean, it's not, I like it better if it's not completely solid. Okay. So we've got that. Let me set this aside, get it out of our way. All right, we've got that. Now I'm going to bring this in because whenever you color with your memento, with your blends, it will bleed through. So let's get our apple. And I'm going to use the Real Red. Let's get that up so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to use the Real Red blends. Now the lids look pink, but it's really not. It's red, and you can see from that. So I like to start with the light. And so I'm going to do this just half of the apple at a time. And because this is a big area, I'm using the brush tip. And the nice thing about blends is because they're alcohol based, you don't see any brush marks. So now I'm going to go back with the dark, and I'm just going to come around the outside. Now the reason I think I told you this is thick Whisper White, and the reason I'm using that is because the blends work better on that. I have used the regular Whisper White, and you can, but the thick does work a little bit better. Now I'm going to go back with my light and just kind of blend that out a little bit. All right, now I'm going to work on the other side. I'm just going to turn it over just because it's easier. All right, so let's get the other half of this guy done. I'm trying not to go over the edge. We do have a color lifter, so if you go outside the lines, you can clean it up some with the color lifter, which just kind of takes color away. And if I was on regular Whisper White, it tends to bleed more. And so you might see it kind of bleeding outside the edges. All right, now go in with my dark again. And I just went on the outside of this one. Just made it darker kind of around the outside. A lot of times Stampin' Up will give you ideas with cross hatches or other things just to kind of show you where you might want to put the darker in. All right. One apple. Then I'm going to use the Granny Apple Green. That's what my background cardstock is. So again, I'll start with the light. And I'll just color the whole leaf. These are small enough I can color the whole thing. And then I'm just going to go in with the dark. And just where those lines are, just put a little bit there. And I think this time I may not even blend it. I may just leave it like that. Same thing on this one. Whoops. And I am using the narrower point on this just to put in these dark lines. All right, so that just gives it a little dimension. And then the last thing is our little stem, and this is just soft suede. And I am not going to try and blend it. This one is the dark soft suede. Okay, that's it. That's all the coloring. Very easy. And I did forget we have one more little bit of stamping to do. This is the little sentiment, and you could use any sentiment. I made this kind of like it was a, back to school card. So this welcome back comes in the set, and I'm just going to stamp it in the middle of this piece of scratch paper, and I'm going to have to grab my punch because I forgot to grab it. So hang on 1 minute. And I don't remember what the name of this punch is. I should have looked that up, but it's one of my favorites for these little sentiments. So I'm going to stamp it so the words are kind of to the right because I'm going to tuck this behind my apple. So there we go. That's done. Okay. Now we're ready to stamp or to punch out our apple. So let's see how well we did with. So just put this in here, and it's going to leave a little bit of white around it. And you can see how much that bled through. So that's why you want to be sure you have something underneath your surface. Oh, good. So we did okay on the leaf. There's one leaf. And another leaf. All these extra pieces out here. 2 leaves. All right, now let's see. Wow, I can't believe that that's going to work out. I actually stamped it well enough in the right spot so we can just punch it out. So I'm going to end up using a little bit of that white. So I probably should have done like a little strip, but that's fine. It'll work. And there's our stem. So 2 leaves, a stem, and all of our pieces. All right, now we're ready to put it all together. So I have a piece of granny apple green, and this is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I have a piece of black, and so this one was 3 3/4 by 5. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. I just wanted one, just a little bit of a border around it, just a very small black border. You'll notice that I punched my starburst, which is going to go behind my apple, out of the middle of that because this is going to be layered between these two. So it's just a way to conserve paper. So before I put the red on, though, I want to put my ribbon because I didn't want it touching the green. I wanted it around the red against the black. So this is the granny apple green ribbon. And I'm just going to take it, and I want it on the lower half. And if you've been in any of my classes, you've seen me. This is the way I like to do ribbon. Just lay it around the back and use some scratch tape. Super easy, no bows, no anything. Just tape it to the back. Usually once I get one side on, I pick it back up and make sure that it's straight. Get the other side on there. All right, now we're ready to put this in place. I don't lose any of my little apple pieces. So I'm just going to use my snail. Now that because I've done the circle out of that, I want to be sure I don't put any snail in the middle of this piece. Although it would stick to the green, so it's not a big deal if you do. All right. So line that up so you've got just a nice narrow border of black all the way around. And you can Put this on your granny apple green now. I could put some in the middle. Oop. And because I did a smaller border there, it leaves it a little bit bigger border on the green. I just like that. I think it looks a little more interesting. All right, now I'm gonna just put my apple just flat on my black. I'm gonna wait on that. And when I did this, I used, you know what, I'm gonna get that just because it'll be easier. So I used the Tombow liquid glue, and it's real nice for just little pieces like this. So I'm just gonna put a little bit on the bottom. You don't need very much of my stem, and kind of tuck it back there. And then just a little bit, whoops, on one end. So one leaf going like that. And again, a little bit on the very end. Another one going down. And then I took this whole thing and put dimensionals on it so it would fit over this ribbon easily. So I'll just do one at the bottom and one at the top so it'll fit over that ribbon nicely. And that is just going to go right here. And then the last thing we have is our sentiment. Again, I'll just use a little bit of this liquid glue and just tuck it right behind my apple. And there we go. Another one made. I just love the colors, the real red and the granny apple green together. I think are real fun. All right, well, if you're joining me tomorrow night, I can't wait to show you everything that I've got with the new catalog and what we're going to be making. Otherwise, if I can help you with anything, if you did not get a catalog from me, let me know, and you're interested in getting one, let me know, and I can get one sent out to you. It has got, this is, I think, the best holiday catalog I've seen since I've been doing this. It's got beautiful things in it. So I can't wait to share it with you. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. Bye.